still along the theme of our divinity. Okay, so there's only one thing from beginning to the end. Okay, in Genesis we all know that we were all created and made in the image and the likeness of Elohim. Okay, the image of Elohim is on our inside. No one can see it. So only Elohim can see his own image in us. So we must understand this one thing. When Elohim look at us, he only see himself. He see nothing else. Okay? So Elohim is a picture of perfection. Okay? He is perfect, he is whole, he is sound, he is complete. Alright? So when he look at us, that is what he sees he sees. He only see himself in us. Okay? Amen? So this is the message he wants us to have and to understand. So if Elohim see himself in us, so when we look at ourselves, what do we see?
You see Elohim?
Okay? A lot of people don't see Elohim. They see something else. Alright? Okay? So if you see something else, then you must have your vision corrected. It's dangerous to see something else apart from the image of Elohim in you. Understand? This is the message that he has to get through to us. Yeah? When Elohim look at us, he only see himself in us. He see nothing else. So when we look at ourselves, we must only see Elohim in us and nothing else. Okay? Elohim does not see us as a sinner. Elohim does not see us as a wicked person. Elohim does not see us as a sickly person. He did not see any weakness in us. He did not see that we are bankrupt or we are broke. He did not see us suffering. He did not see us struggling through life. He sees himself in us. He sees wholeness. He sees perfection. He sees completeness. He sees soundness in us. So that is the picture, the mental picture we must always hold about ourselves. See ourselves whole. See ourselves sound, perfect, complete. See ourselves holy. See ourselves righteous. See ourselves upright. See ourselves blameless. See ourselves perfect. See ourselves prosperous. See ourselves glorious. See ourselves loving. Okay? So he wants us to see the same as he sees. Okay? So the image is on the inside for Elohim to see. And then the likeness is something that we have to project out. The likeness of Elohim is for the world around us to see. Okay? Like last week, I shared with you, say we are not here to learn something. Alright? So, but we have been told that life is a school. So we are here to learn, we are here to discover. Okay? But that's not true. So life is not a school because there is nothing to learn. There's nothing to learn, there's nothing to discover. So we are here for what purpose? We are here to remember. We are here to remember and to recreate ourselves. Remember and recreate. Okay, remember what? Okay, so we are here to remember who we really are, who we were. Right? So because of sin, all of us has fallen asleep, and some were in a deep coma. So to fall asleep, actually what it means that you have forgotten who you are. That's what it means to be asleep spiritually. You have forgotten who you are. Okay? So that when we come to Christ, we are awakened. So once you are awakened, you start to remember. Okay? You start to remember who you are. Okay? So those people who are still asleep, they are still living in their humanity. They are always thinking that they are just a human being, desperately seeking after a spiritual encounter. So that's what a lot of people are doing today. A lot of believers, a lot of Christians are doing today. So they go from seminar to seminar, from conference to conference, from this service to that service. They travel around the world. They are always so hungry, always so thirsty, always so desperate. Or revival happened in that place, I must go. Or signs of wonder happened in this place, I must go. Or this mighty prophet has come from Africa, I must go. You know, I must go there to receive this blessing. I must go there to catch this anointing. I must go there to receive this fire. You know, so we all used to do that. Because why? There is a nagging, unfulfilled hunger and thirst and desire in us. Okay? But that is not what we should be. We are not here to learn something. We are not here to discover something. But we are here to remember. Okay? So if you think that you are just a human being, then you will be in for a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble, a lot of struggling, a lot of unending disaster. Alright? But the truth is what? We are divine being. We are divine being. We are spiritual being. We are divine. Why? Because we were made in the image of Elohim. Elohim is divine. So we are made in his image. And we are his offspring. We are his children. We have his life. We have his nature. We have his spirit. We have his mind. Okay? We have his will. Everything that he is has now come into us. Right? We have the same essence that he is. We have divine substance in us. So we are a divine being. Okay? So when we are awakened, we remember that we are divine being. We are divine being having a wonderful human experience. Understand? So there are two perspectives, two extremes. If you think that you are just a human being, then you will struggle to hear God, you will struggle to see God, you will struggle to understand God, you will struggle to understand the Bible. So many spiritual things is still very blur to you. You open the book of Revelation, you say, I read, I cannot understand. Everything doesn't really make sense to you, and you don't really have interest in that book. Why? Because you are operating in your humanity. Suka-suka you pray. Suka-suka you read Bible. Most of the time you go according to your mood, according to your emotion. Okay, no consistency. Sometimes up, sometimes down. Sometimes you want to conquer the world, sometimes you want to commit suicide. A pastor in Colorado last week committed suicide due to depression. Cannot cope. A ministry is not supposed to do that. If you serve God in your humanity, you will burn out. You will die. There's a limit. You cross the limit, you're gone. Okay, we are not supposed to do that. So we are here to remember that we are divine being. So if you know that you are divine being, that you are an offspring of Elohim, then you say that it is very natural for me to hear the voice of my Father. It's very natural for me to see my Father. I can smell my Father. I can see my Father. I can recognize my Father. I know him. I can sense him. No confusion. No uncertainty. Right? No double-mindedness. I just know him. So how do you know it was Elohim? I just know him. Even though sometimes I don't have to see him, I know it was him. I hear the voice, I know. Right? Just a little boy who have been growing up, I've been hearing the voice of the mother. Sometimes no need to see the mother from afar. A kilometer away, the mother call his name, and that's my mother. Right? So we just know it. Then he just said, even though I just know it. You ask me how, I cannot tell you, I cannot explain to you, but I just know it. Right? To see vision, to receive dreams, to understand the Bible is so easy. Because why? You know that you are a divine being. Understand? You are a divine being having a wonderful human experience. So now the extreme is the priority is different. You are spiritual first, then only natural. So, but a lot of believers is different. They are natural first, then only spiritual. So if you are living by your humanity, you live from the outside in. Your life is all dependent on external factor. Depending on the weather, depending on the politics, depending on everything external. Okay? If the external factor begin to change, you will suffer. You will complain, you will cry, you will freak out. Okay? You cannot take it. Okay? But if you understand that you are a divine being, you will live from the inside out. Okay? You know that as inside, so it will be outside. So you live from the inside out. So you know that when outside the things are not good, you know how to change it. You go inside, you make the changes on the inside. So once the changes happen on the inside, external things will begin to change. Okay? So we can never change anything on the outside. Okay? Somebody may not treat you well, somebody may not respect you, somebody will be very unkind to you. They do all kinds of nonsense to you. Okay? So and then you freak out, you don't know what to deal with them. Why are they doing it like that? Okay? But if you learn how to go inside and make all the changes there, you change your thoughts, you change your attitude, you change your imagination, you change your emotion, you change your consciousness, and then very soon you see all the external factors begin to conform to you. Now, when you begin to understand that you are a divine being, what is the one thing that will always associate itself with divinity? Humanity equals to chaos. Chaos and confusion. Right? That's why we look at this world. It's a world of chaos, it's a world of corruption, it's a world of confusion. Okay? Humanity. So, but when you think about divinity, what comes to your mind? As a human being, you live with chaos. As a divine being, you live with what? What is heaven like?
Shalom, peace.
Huh?
Peace.
Shalom. Yeah, peace. Peace means what?
No chaos.
No chaos. Okay, peace, no chaos. All right. What is that one word? What the word start with O?
Oh.
When you have peace, you have what? O, start with O.
Overcoming.
We have peace, nothing to overcome.
Overjoy.
Huh? You have peace, you have what?
Oneness.
Oneness, okay, oneness. All right.
Getting nearer. What is the next word?
You have order.
Okay. Okay.
No?
Yeah.
So once you begin to understand that you are a divine being and you are living by your divinity, the one characteristic of your life will be order.
Order.
Okay? So you look at everything from divine perspective, you see order. People may see confusion, people may see corruption, they may see disorderliness, they may see disunity, they may see disease, they may see disharmony. Okay? But because you understand that you are a divine being and you are living out of your divinity, you will walk in divine orderliness. Okay? The state of shalom, you're living in the state of shalom on the inside of you. Okay? On the inside of you, you're only conscious about your oneness with the Father. You're always conscious about your wholeness, your wellness, your soundness. That's what you know. You know? So when you become a new creation, you speak a new language. Speaking in tongues, speaking in new tongue is not just la 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 la, it's not just that. It means that you are speaking a new language, the divine language, a divine language of orderliness, a divine language of wholeness, a divine language of wellness, a divine language of soundness, a divine language of completeness, a divine language of fullness. Okay? That's how you speak. You understand? So we have so when we are awakened, you start to remember. You remember that you are a divine being. You remember that there is a divinity on the inside of you. And I told you what is this divinity. That this divinity inside you is Christ. Okay? Mashiach. You know? So when you read the epistle of Paul, nowhere it say Yahushua in you. Nowhere he said Yahushua in you. He said Mashiach in you. Understand? And you in Mashiach. Not you in Yahushua. Because Yahushua, the man. Understand? Okay? He is Yahushua HaMashiach. He was the man with the anointing, the Christ. So he operated by the Christ. He also discovered the Christ in him. Okay? That was the moment I said that he understood the Mashiach in him. So he came into this world, he has to remember. As he grew up, he began to remember who he was. So that's why at the age of 12, okay, he began to discover that the Father was in him. Okay, that's why at the age of 12, when his whole family went to Jerusalem for a visit, probably for a feast, on the way back, he wasn't with the parent. So the parent has to go back to Jerusalem to look for him. They found him in the temple. He was talking, having a discussion with the rabbi. So the parent asked him, say, son, what are you do? Why are you doing this to us? Then how did he answer? He said, don't you know that I need to be about my father's business? Okay? So at the age of 12, he already has the consciousness of the Father who lives on the inside of him. You understand? That was the time he began to discover the presence of the Father in him, his oneness with the Father. Okay? So he has been in communication with the Father inside. As he was growing up from the age of 12, he did not start his earthly ministry until he reached the age of 30. Okay? So for 18 years, nowhere was recorded for us in the Bible where he was, what he did, what he experienced, nowhere was mentioned there. Okay? But we know that in those years he was growing up and he was actually increasing in knowledge, in wisdom, in favor, in communion with the Father within. Okay, this Father within is actually the Mashiach. Understand? Okay? So this divinity in us is the Mashiach within. It is our unity with the Almighty. It is our oneness with the Father. Okay? This is the source of our total supply, our divinity. So Yahushua, he lived and he operated 100% out of this divinity within him, out of the Mashiach within him. He became the Mashiach because he discovered the Mashiach in him. Understand? That's why Paul said in Galatians 2:20, it is no longer I who live, but it is Mashiach who is living in me. Mashiach living in me. Mashiach in you, the hope of glory. He said, my Elohim shall supply all your need according to his riches in glory in Mashiach. You understand? So everything that the Father has and the Father is in Mashiach. And then Mashiach has been put on the inside of us. Understand? What is the purpose of this Mashiach in us, this divinity? What is the purpose? The purpose is to let the likeness of the Father be seen in the world. Just like he said, if you see me, you see the Father. This word I speak to you, it is not my word, it is the Father speaking to me. This miracle I perform is not my word, it is the Father in me performing it. Right? So that's why the world began to witness. The world began to hear what he spoke and witness with their eye what he did. And they saw the Father. Okay? And the disciple with him, they didn't realize it until he told them, have I been so long with you and you don't even realize who I am? Yeah? They say, show us the Father. He always talk about the Father. She show us the Father. Where's the Father? Show us the Father. Right? Say, I'm the way to the Father. Yeah, you see me, you see the Father. So that is talking about his likeness. His likeness is for the world to see. Okay? And that was the purpose why the divinity was placed in us. So that we can project the likeness of the Father to the world. You understand? Now, okay, coming back to that. Yes, tonight I just want to touch a little bit on the area of prayer. Touch a little bit on the area of prayer. Okay, turn with me to Isaiah 65, verse 24. Isaiah 65, verse 24. Isaiah 65, 24. Isaiah 65, 24. It says here, and it shall be that before they call, I answer, and while they are still speaking, I hear. Okay? Again, say, and it shall be that before they call, I answer, and while they are still speaking, I hear. This is Elohim speaking. He said, before they call, I already answer. And while they are still speaking, I hear. Okay? It means that he hear and he answer. Right? He said before you call, he already answer. And while you are still speaking, he said, I heard you already. So when you read a statement like this, what kind of impression does it give to you? Isaiah 65:24. Okay? So when you read such a statement from the mouth of Elohim, what kind of impression it make upon you? Okay, we know Jeremiah 33:3, right? Call unto me and I will answer you. Call, I answer you. You have to call first before I answer. But here, he spoke here differently. Say, before you call, I already answer. Before you even finish talking, I already heard you. So if he answer and if he hear you, it means what?
He loves us.
If he hear you and he answer you, it means what?
He loves you.
Because we are
Now,
not-
you see, we have been taught that when you pray, God will answer you in one of three ways. Either he will answer you with a yes, or he will answer you with a no, or wait. I don't know. We have been taught like that, right? And we accept it, right? Yeah? And that is the cause of so much frustration in our prayer life. Because we never ask our pastor, hey, sometimes yes, sometimes no, sometimes wait. Where in the Bible it says that? If you were to ask your pastor, where in the Bible does he say, does God say that sometimes yes, sometimes no, sometimes you wait? Where in the Bible does he say that? Ada? Huh?
Because our thoughts are in his thoughts already, we know what we want to ask him.
No, that's why I'm asking you. When you hear your pastor telling you, every time you pray, God will either say yes or no, or wait.
When he say this thing,
And you swallow that
no.
for years. And you never question him. Is there anywhere in the Bible that says that?
No.
No. It's a lie from the pit of hell. Okay? So here it says that before you call, I already answer you. And before you even finish speaking, I already hear you. If he hear and he answer you, it means what? What is the outcome? Is it an absolute yes?
Yes.
It is an always yes?
Yes.
It is a yes all the time?
Yes.
So did he give you any indication? You may call, but sometimes I won't answer you. God or not?
Because we know that we are one with him, sure he will answer us.
You see or not? So this is what we should use as the foundation of our prayer. Before I even call, he already hear me, he already answer me.
We know what we want now.
Right or not? And before I can utter anything before him, I don't really need a long list of prayer. The use the right word and all these things and all those technology. I don't have to. But here he gave me the assurance that he always hear and he always answer.
Just short one, you answer.
Right or not? So when you understand it, Isaiah 64:24, 65:24. Okay, then there is another verse, I think in Matthew 6:8. Matthew 6:8. Matthew 6:8, what does he say?
Do not be like them, for your Father knows what you need before you ask.
It said, do not be like the Gentile who pray vain prayer. Okay? Do not be like them, for your Father knows what you need before you ask Him. Okay? So don't keep bugging Him. I want a wife. I want a wife. Where is the woman? Where's my missing rib? He said He already know what you need even before you ask Him. Now put these two scriptures together. If you want to be you want to experience a very powerful, effective, and fruitful prayer life, these two scriptures must be the foundation of your life. The Father knows what I have need of. Before I call, He answer. Before I finish speaking, He already heard me. So when you have these two scriptures on the inside of you, how would you pray? How would you pray? Or somebody will say that. Somebody say, oh, if God already know what I have need of, why should I pray? So it's not a question of why should you pray, but rather a question of how should you pray. So it's as if when you come to somebody and you're talking, you want to present, I know. People are speaking, I know what you want. I know. So what else can you say?
Just keep lah.
Huh?
Just keep lah.
Let's keep lah. Okay. So when you understand these two verses about the heart of the Father, when you understand this Father is on the inside of you, and when you understand that you are one with this Father on the inside of you, and this Father knows everything in your life, and this Father yearns to do you good with all his heart, with all his mind. He yearns to do you good. Right? Now how shall you pray?
With gratitude.
Huh?
Pray with gratitude.
Yeah. So do you need to plead? Do you need to beg? Do you need to fast 40 days before you hear from him, before you get an answer from him? Really, I tell you, if you understand this thing, many things are no longer necessary. You see, this is the thing that the church never teaches. And most of the prayer in the church are all prayer of begging, pleading and begging, pleading and begging. Okay? You know the prayer of Jabez? 1 Chronicles chapter 4, verse 9 and 10.
He is a man of honor.
So Jabez was more honorable than all his brethren. And he called on the Elohim of Israel. Oh, that you will bless me and enlarge my border, and let your hand be upon me, and keep me from all evil, that it may not grieve me. And what is the conclusion? He said, and Elohim granted him his request. He asked a very big request, you know. Actually, because he knew the heart of Elohim. This Jabez, he knew the heart of Elohim. Oh, that you will bless me. You know, actually, he's not asking for a small blessing. Now he lived a life of sorrow, a life of bitterness, a life of suffering for many years. He heard his uncle, his neighbor, everybody was talking about this great Elohim of Israel who performed great signs and wonder. Then one day he decided, I will call for him personally. Say, oh, that you will bless me. You know what actually he meant by that? He don't say, bless me with a small blessing that will last me for 3 days. No. He said, since you was Almighty Elohim, I'm going to ask you to do something very incredible, big in my life. And I know that you are the source of all blessing. So I want you to bless me with a blessing that will last me for 3 generations. So that my son and my grandchildren, they don't even have to work a day of their life. It's actually happening in Dubai for many families. Every happening in Medan. A lot of those people don't have to work. Like kitchen of our niece working there. But these people, this Christian, no need to do work. Every day just sit down and yum cha. Shopping, go holiday. Don't have to work a day in their life. This is not a fantasy. This is not a dream. But it's actually literally happening. There are people on earth that are living like that. And these are not even believers. Some are believers, some are not even believers. I think that is the kind of life he ordained for us. Okay? But we are so used to struggle and strive and sweat. I'm always moving in the cycle and still have no satisfaction on the inside of us. Something is wrong. If you believe these 2 scriptures that we just read just now, if you believe what happened to Jabez, Jabez was not even born again. Jabez did not have the ruach of Elohim on his side. Jabez cannot call Elohim his father. His relationship with Almighty Elohim was just a master and a servant. You understand? And yet he asked big thing. Say, you are a big Elohim. You want to bless me? Don't bless me small one. I want a blessing that will last me for 3 generations. Then he said, enlarge my borders. I'm not happy with this small corner. I want to be a man of renown, a man that is famous, a man that is powerful, a man that is successful, a man that can make impact. Not only locally, but internationally. Yeah? They say, make sure your hand never depart from my life. God, I understand what your hand can do. Your hand can supply, can supply all my need. Your hand can strengthen me. Your hand can lift me up. Your hand can protect me. Your hand can fight for me. Make sure the hand never depart from my life. No? Why he played that? Because he and Elohim is not one. He said, I need your hand. Yeah? He said, keep me from grief. And make sure I also do not cause people grief anymore. And he says what? Elohim granted him his request. But today, you are a new creation. You have the Ruah inside you. Not only that, you become one with the Father. And this Father say, I know everything you have need of. Before you call, I already answer. Before you finish speaking, I already heard you. And yet we still live with so many prayers unanswered. Why? Okay? And then Mashiach also said this one thing. Luke 12:32. Luke 12:32. Luke 12:32. What does he say?
Do not fear, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom.
It is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Yeah, you remember there was another man, a very wicked man by the name of Herod. On his birthday, his stepdaughter danced before him, and he was so happy, so pleased. He said, I will give to you any request up to half of my kingdom. Yeah? So this wicked king was willing to give half of his kingdom to a girl who pleased him so much with a dance. Yeah? And now here our Master Yahushua said, it is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Is it half the kingdom? All of the kingdom. So it is His good pleasure to give you all of the kingdom, the fullness of the kingdom. It is His pleasure to give you. Have you received it?
Yeah.
Have you received the kingdom?
Yes.
Some are not sure. Only one.
Yes.
So what manner of man, what manner of woman you will be if you really believe you have received the kingdom? And where is this kingdom?
Yes.
On the inside of you. So the kingdom is in you. It's not outside of you. That's why he said, seek ye first the kingdom. Yeah? Where is the kingdom? People are still wondering today, where is the kingdom of God? He tell you clearly, the kingdom is in you. Seek ye first the kingdom. Seek the kingdom that is on the inside of you. Seek to understand what is this kingdom all about. Seek to understand what is inside this kingdom and how this kingdom can operate in and through your life. Yeah? What is inside this kingdom? When the king said to you, I've given you all of my kingdom. If in the physical, literal sense, what manner of man would you be? You have inherited a kingdom. So kingdom means what? It means people, human resources, and also all the material resources. That means that if you have the kingdom, you have everything you ever needed for your life.
It's all of you, sir.
Everything. When we talk about the kingdom of Malaysia, if the kingdom of Malaysia belongs to you, what does it mean?
That's all of you.
How will you live? Alright, everything is yours. Now, so how would you pray? When you understand this thing, how would you pray? Okay, let me give you a scenario. Listen carefully to these 4 scenarios, and you tell me which of these is your understanding about prayer. Number 1, you are asking your boss for an increment in your salary. You ask your boss for an increment in your salary. Number 2, it is your boss asking you to do an assignment for him. Number 3, you asking your neighbor to babysit your baby. Number 4, your landlord asking you for his rental. Okay, I say again. First one, you are asking your boss for a raise. Second, your boss is asking you to do a piece of job for him. Thirdly, you ask your neighbor to babysit your baby. And fourthly, your landlord asking you for his rental. So which of these 4 is your understanding about prayer? These are these 4. You're asking your boss for a raise. Is this prayer? Is this asking? You are asking your boss, right? Number 1. Number 2 is your boss asking you. Number 3, you asking your neighbor. Number 4 is your landlord asking you. So which one is prayer?
One of them.
Huh?
Has to be one of them.
No, it can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3. You choose that. Which one is prayer according to your understanding? How many of you will say number 1? Number 1. It's number 1. Huh?
This question got trick question. Must be the other way around.
So which one is your understanding about prayer?
Must be the balik one, the answer.
Huh? Should you pray? Should you pray number 1? You are an employee of a big organization. Do you like an increment in your pay?
Yeah.
So would you ask your prayer, your boss for an increase? If you have done your good job, you ask your God, you ask your boss for an increment, right?
Yeah.
Is that prayer?
It's not prayer.
Not prayer. So that's not asking.
It is a prayer.
Huh?
Father, you're the
Huh?
boss
Is
in
that a
the-
prayer or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Abba,
Okay.
Father, you're the boss in the.
Now, what about you asking your babysitter to babysit your baby? Is that a request?
Yes.
Is it a prayer?
Yes.
Right. So for most of us, we think that prayer is asking your boss for an increment, asking your neighbor to babysit your baby. Now, okay, I want to have you to answer what is true prayer. So if you ask your boss for an increment in your salary, what would his answer to you? What would be his answer to you?
Can be no, ma.
Huh?
Can be no, ma.
No, you must scream. Abba, Father, you're the boss in the.
No. I mean in the natural scenario, if you ask your boss for an increment in your salary, let's say you ask for 1,000 increment in your salary. So what do you think he will say to you?
For.
Huh?
What for?
Huh?
What for?
Huh? So the answer may be
Yes,
maybe
or no.
yes or maybe no, right?
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
And maybe you will not get exactly what you ask, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. So when you approach, if that is prayer, that means that you cannot pray with confidence, you cannot ask with confidence, because you are not sure of the outcome. Because inside you, you already have this thing inside you. Maybe yes, maybe no, maybe I won't get exactly what I ask. So these are three possibilities in you when you ask this prayer. Okay, so when you ask your babysitter to take care of your baby, so what is the answer?
Same.
Yes.
Huh? Either yes or no. Right now. So it's 50-50. Understand? Now, coming back, your boss asking you to do a work for him.
Yes. If not, you're fired.
So when your boss asks you to do a work for him, so do you think that in his mind say maybe he will say no to me? Huh?
No. You say yes. I mean
He already knew for sure.
you say yes.
You can never say no to me,
Say no.
right? You have to say yes.
Yeah.
I know. So when your landlord come knocking on your door, hey, today is the 15th already. I'm here for my rental. So do you think that he expect you to say no?
Yes, we have to pay.
You have to pay, right? So our prayer, our understanding of prayer is like the first and the third one. Why do you pray? Because I don't have. Why do you ask God for this thing and for that thing? Because I don't have. Why do you ask God? Do you ask God to bless you? Do you still ask God to bless you? Yes or no? Yes. No. Do you still ask God to heal you? You still ask Him to heal you. Do you still ask God to protect you? Yeah. Right? So this is our concept of praying. Asking from God because we don't have. Okay? But His concept of prayer is this. You ask, it means that you are demanding and you are claiming what you know rightfully is yours. And you pray with such confidence, you know that Abba can never say no to you. True prayer is a demand and a claim upon something which is rightfully yours, which Elohim cannot say no to you.
Must say, Elohim hold the cattle of the 1,000 years. You are wealthy, I'm so wealthy. So
He made you his heir. He said the whole kingdom are then given to you. So why are you still saying that you still have a lot of wants in your life, a lot of needs in your life? So prayer is not pleading, prayer is not begging. Prayer is acknowledging that you already have the thing and now you say thank you. You understand? What is true prayer? True prayer are the prayer that the Father has to say yes to you. He cannot say no to you. If He ever can say no to you, that is not a true prayer. That's why the Master say, if you abide in me and my word abide in you, say, whatever you ask shall be granted. Okay? So you must pray like your boss. You must pray like the landlord. I'm here to claim what is mine, what is due to me. You cannot say no to me. Okay? So that is how you should approach the Father. Approach the Father with such a strong confidence. You know, Father, you can never say no to me. So a true prayer is answered 100%, 100% of the time. You understand? You know what is Elohim's greatest moment? Elohim, now listen to this, this may shock you. Elohim's greatest moment is the moment when you realize that you don't need him anymore. I say it again. This may shock you. So Elohim's greatest moment is the moment you realize that you don't need him anymore. So why do you need Elohim? Why do we need Elohim? Because we need him to forgive our sin. We need him to heal our sickness. We need him to provide us our deliverance. We need him to fight our battle for us. We need him to show us favor. We need him to open the door for us. We need him to make the winding pathway straight for us. We need him to move this mountain for us. We need him to break this curse for us. Right? We need him, 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 all these things. So long as you still need him to do something for you or to give you something, he said, I'm not truly a blessing to you yet. So, but the day will come when you finally realize that Elohim has done everything that he needs to do for you. That Elohim has given you everything you ever need in your life. There's nothing more he can do for you. There's nothing more he can give to you. The day you realize that, you will stop living like a beggar. Okay? So you already have everything now. Do you still need him or not? Now, we still need him. Need him in what sense? Need him in the sense that we don't come to him to ask for his blessing. We don't come to him to ask him for this or for that. We come to him simply because we love him. We just want to commune with him. I've got no money. Okay? Just like you said to somebody, I have no need of you. There's nothing more you can give to me. There's nothing more you can do for me. If your boss comes to tell you, Stephen, there's nothing more you can do for our organization, there's nothing more you can contribute to our organization, we don't need you anymore. I don't know. Okay, so it is Abba's ultimate intention to bring every one of his children to this realization. That you are one with him, that you are his heir, that he has given you everything that you need. He has done everything that he needs to do. There's nothing more he has to do for you. So anytime you open your mouth and ask him to do something for you, that is illegitimate. Every time you open your mouth, ask him to give you something, that is ignorant praying. Okay? So when his son hung on the cross, he said, it is finished. What more you want him to do? He healed every sickness. He forgave every sin. He broke every curse. He has bestowed every blessing and every favor. All the wealth, the riches, the promise, everything given. So he's asking you, have you not received? Have I not given to you? Have I not already done it? That's what he said. He said, before you call, I already answered. You understand or not? While you are still speaking, he said, I already heard you. So all has been done, all has been given. You don't need me to give you anything anymore. You don't need me to do anything for you anymore. You understand or not? And this one you must go home and really think over it, meditate, and then you have the understanding. Okay? So Elohim, greatest moment is the moment you realize you don't need him anymore. Don't need him not in the sense that you live independent of him. Say not, you don't need him in the sense that you don't need him to give you anything. You don't need him to do anything. You just come just to love him, just to worship him, just to commune with him. Amen. This is where he wants to bring you. Okay? So from today onward, this is how you pray. Okay? Don't open your mouth and back. Just say thank you. You are already given me. Thank you. Understand? You know what I need, and you have already provided. That's why Psalmist David say, "The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want. I shall never be in want of anything anymore." So if somebody come to you, what can I give to you? What can I do for you? Say nothing. You try give 1,000 ringgit to Jack Ma. Will he be interested? You go and say, Jack Ma, I got one very interesting business idea. No? Can generate 10 million a month. You think we will be interested? You know, understand or not? So that's why we don't really believe what the Bible says. We don't really believe it. If you believe it, you live differently. Amen? Amen? So you learned something tonight? I hope your life will change from tonight. Okay? Remember the two scriptures. Our Father, we thank you for your word of wisdom tonight. We thank you for this awakening, this enlightenment, and this realization that has come out of the core of our innermost being. That you are indeed the Elohim who answer us before we call, and who hear us while we are yet speaking, and you know everything we are in need of even before we ask you. So Father, thank you. Thank you, for we have indeed received all from your hand, from your spirit. You have given us everything that we ever need to live a very purposeful and productive life. And you have done everything that you need to do, and we cannot ask you for anything more. For all has been given, and all things are indeed ours. And so with a heart of thanksgiving, a heart of adoration, we just want to say thank you, Abba Father. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything. Thank you. We have received all things from you. Indeed, all things are ours when you make us your heir and joint heir together with Mashiach Yahushua. So we want to live and grow strong in this blessed word of yours. Thank you. Let this word continue to grow deep and strong until it bear fruit in our lives. Thank you for this word. And even as we give to you tonight, we know that there's actually nothing that we can give to you, because you don't need anything from us. But we give because it is an expression of our love. It is an expression of the image that you have put within us. Yes. So receive this offering as we offer to you joyfully with gratitude tonight. In Yahushua's mighty name. Amen.
Amen.